Welcome to What Do I Know with your boy Zuzu. The basis of the show is to talk to hip hop music lovers and to get to know our guests through their taste in music. And today we have my boy, super producer, content creator. To me, he's a social media king, Larry O. What's going on, bro?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
Nah, thank you for doing this, brother. Thank you. Long overdue, but we're finally here. And I see that. Well, let me ask you: are you settled into the new studio? I know.
Yeah,
you just
pretty
started
much.
setting up. Yeah,
pretty much, man. Yeah, pretty much. I'm settled in. I still need a couple of like little things, but I just need like a new couch. But pretty much, I'm settled in. I got my acoustic panels up. I might need a couple more because this space is bigger, but nice. I got pretty much everything set up in here now. I'm good.
About 10 questions. We might have mix it up a little bit. I had my daughter actually randomize them a little bit, so
dope.
It'll be cool. Be a little fun. So we'll get right into it. I always wanted to ask you. I think you've said it years ago before, but who is your favorite producer? But not only producer, what's your favorite beat of all time? That I know it's probably hard to pick, but
that's really hard.
Of all time?
Yeah, I mean my favorite beat of all time is really hard to pick. So I might do that one second. My first, my favorite producer has got to be Timbaland. I mean, okay, that's number one favorite producer. The main reason why, and I've thought about this, and maybe I've said this in the past, but the main reason why he's my favorite producer still to this day is because he is a guy that sticks with the time. He doesn't stick with 10, 15, 20 years ago, right? He's always reinventing himself. He's always putting new people around him, new producers around him that are making new current music, and he's always with the times. He's always been with the times. I think that's like the one trait that producers, artists, just anything in general, right, people need to have, is something that you need to have your own, right? You need to have your own vibes and your own brand. But at the same time, I think you have to have a healthy amount of sticking with the times and what's current. And Timbaland is somebody that's always done it.
That last song, I should say, you played in your car. I always want to know, like, what's the recent song people are listening
to? The recent one, and I can look at but I'm pretty sure I know. It's the that new song by Kid Cudi. It's what the hell's the name of it?
Is he featured on it?
It's not a feature, bro. It's all him. It's brand new. Do What I Want. So I had to go look at my Spotify quick. It's Do What I Want by Kid Cudi. It's like it's a few weeks old.
Nice.
Fire. And yeah, that's definitely like the last song I was listening to this morning.
I've heard a few things from him recently. He seems like he's back having fun and in his bag. So
it sounds like it. It sounds like it with that song. The beat, Day Trip made the beat. Day Trip, right?
Yeah.
They do all of Lil Nas X's stuff, or the majority of it.
Okay.
And it's I believe it's two guys. They're ridiculous, bro. Like ridiculous musicians.
I saw your grind go into like a super overdrive a few years ago, and I want to know what clicked, what like thing, I don't want to say thing that happened, but what like message or mantra you follow that just clicked for you and you were like, you know what, it's time to take my career to another level. You use social media to your advantage and you just went crazy. Like what was that point that you noticed that clicked for you?
There was a couple of things. I had one kid at the time about to have another, right? Or just he was just Eli, my second, was about to be born right then around that same time. I was always trying to dabble in social media, but nothing ever like fully clicked and caught on, but I was always trying a bunch of different things. Yeah. But the one thing that I always had in my head is I'm never going to work a regular job. I can't do it. I can't handle it mentally. I could never handle it mentally. That was always one of the driving factors. I have to make this work, whether it's me recording, that I did that for years and years, right? Making beats for people, just in some way staying involved in music, whether it was my music or other people's music, to somehow make a living enough to just get by, pay bills, and be happy. That's all I wanted to do, to just be happy.
I feel like you needed a "you get me" at the end of it, which is my next question. When did that start? Where did that come from? Was it by accident? Or have you always saying that and just not on social media?
So I have been saying, so this is where it came from. Peter Piffin.
Yeah.
when we were like making a lot of music together in the studio.
Shout out to Peter Piffin.
Yep, shout out Peter Piffin, the bro. It was an inside joke between like me, him, and a bunch of other people that just kind of like hanging out a lot together. And it was, you know, the guy that does like the Man's Not Hot, that dude.
Yeah,
he has a variety show. And apparently the whole "you get me" thing is a British. It started like it's a British kind of saying, right?
Oh yeah. Now that you say
and
that,
he's British. Yeah. He's British, so he would just say it, and we just found it funny that he would just say it after everything. And then it was like he was saying you get me in that like British accent, that you get me. And then we were saying it like that. Peter Piffin was saying it a lot. I started saying you get me. I don't even know, it just kind of like evolved into this thing. And then I started putting it in just text. I don't know if you remember a while back, I was posting just like beat videos of me like playing drums on the key on the drum pads and stuff like that. And I would just put it in text, or I would put it like in text across the video or in the descriptions. And then I noticed like even just doing that, not even saying it, right? At that time, I didn't even have my logo spinning in. I didn't have any of that really yet, right? People at shows would just start saying it to me because they would read it in the description. So I'm like, damn, I feel like I'm catching on to something. Like, I guess I'll keep going with it, you know?
Oh, got it.
So then I started the tutorials and I started staying in the videos. And then from there, just like, now it's been like 4 years. You
know? What was your introduction to hip hop? Like, when was the first time you heard it or got introduced to it?
I mean, the very first time I got introduced to it, it was probably like on the radio. We used to listen to, back in the day, Hot 106, like when I was a little kid, you know, little. And I started liking hip hop from there, like the 90s, late 90s hip hop stuff that was on the radio. I was always just like into the radio stuff, you know, because I didn't have any albums at that point yet. But I remember the first album that I got, it was like the MC Hammer album at a flea market.
Oh,
that was
really?
Like the first, that was the first time I got any sort of hip hop like record or album. And I can't remember. I want to say it was a cassette tape that I got at that flea market.
Can you put me on to someone that you know that's a friend of yours, or just someone famous that you think people should be paying more attention to? Maybe you follow someone that's, you know, has these messages that you really follow, or just one of your boys down the block that just started making beats that you want to pump up.
Yeah. Anyway. I got a couple or two like that. My best friend Jacob, like he's like, that's one, just because I just mentioned him, right? He's one that not a lot of people know what he's produced and stuff that he's like scored for movies too and TV shows. He's just a really well-rounded producer, and I don't think he gets enough recognition. You know, he's got some really big accomplishments. Another guy is that I just started following him on Instagram recently. He's an EDM guy, and his name is Rob Late, like ROBLATE, I believe. I could give you the handle later, but he's a ridiculous musician, bro. Like, he just comes up with random sounds, and the way that he edits his videos and the way that he like puts together his beats and his songs is just on another level. Like, I feel like anybody would enjoy it, no matter what genre you're into. It's just amazing what he does, and he shows you the start to finish process, like how he created sounds. Like he'll just say some random word into a microphone, and then he'll process it in such a odd way with different tuning and distortion and all this different processing. And then it'll be like a hit, like something that you would hear on the radio within 30 seconds. You know, it's
so that's so dope. You get to see like the process before and behind the scenes stuff. People love that.
Yeah, man.
And your friend Jacob, does he have does he go by a producer name, or?
My best friend Jacob. That's his name.
So he's not your best friend.
No, he's not my best friend.
This whole time I'm like, okay, all right, they're really cool.
That's like that's his Instagram name, is my best friend Jacob.
I'm gonna follow him right now. Yeah. You are teaching people how to use FL Studio online on social media, and not only just teaching people that, but just like I said, giving positive messages. Why do you think it's so important to like pass that knowledge? Right? Why do you think that's so important? I've known you've always done this, but why do you think that's important?
I mean, I just think it just shapes the next generation of producers and artists and engineers and mixing engineers and just anything in general. And I mean, look at guys like Gary V and other social media guys that are just even more broad than my little niche, right? Like those guys are just like even more broad, but on another level, they want to spread that positivity. Because it just, I don't know, man, it just helps everybody. I think we all need that. We're all searching for that. At one point, you know, I think everybody goes through this. We get frustrated, like, why isn't X, Y, and Z taken off from me, right? Like, why isn't this career taken off? And you need that bit of advice. So I went and I followed people in my niche in the producer community, guys like Curtis King, especially guys like Curtis King was one of the first ones. And he's like one of my good friends now. And we've worked a lot together. But before I ever got my foot in the door, you know, in the like producer community world, the internet world, I followed him because of the message that he was giving out, that positive message.
If you were a DJ at your high school reunion, I like to say high school reunion, but kind of put yourself back into those social, sophomore, social, junior. That's what we called it in my high school. I don't know what you call it, but dances or whatever. Is there a memory or anything of a song that you can remember when you were in high school that either got you on the dance floor? I don't know if you were a dancer, but got
not really
the party started. They try to.
I mean, if I was at like a high school thing,
or like your high school class.
Like I would say, like the thing that comes to mind is that song, and I don't know why right now, but that song "I Need a Girl" with Diddy and Loon. Just that beat, the way that beat starts off. I feel like if anybody from my high school ever heard the start of that beat, they would like rush and want to dance to it.
You know what I'm saying? Oh my god, that song is a banger at any.
That's what I'm saying. Like I mean, if somebody played it now, I feel like.
If I just bought a laptop and I uploaded FL Studio to it, and I don't know anything about making beats at all, because I'm gonna do this soon.
All right.
What should where should I go? Obviously I should follow you first, but where should I go? And like, you know, how do I start a drum pattern? Should I be? Yeah, go ahead.
I would say that's the first place to go is to the step. It's called the step sequencer or the channel rack. Okay. And it's where you create your drum patterns. Okay. And it's by far, and a lot of guys will tell you this too, like even guys that are using Ableton and Logic, there's nothing like the FL's channel rack and step sequencer. You can create a drum pattern in there in 30 seconds, you know, if you've spent a little bit of time with it. It doesn't matter. Like I could tell you probably maybe 10 tips to get into that, not knowing anything about it. And I bet you could make a decent drum beat with 10 steps without ever going into FL Studio before. Like 10 easy, quick steps, maybe 5. So I think that's the first place you go because it's one of the easiest things to learn first as a beginner. Piano roll and melodies, those are a lot harder. You could see like, and I see that with producers, that's like not one of the last things they get good at, but most of the time, it is kind of, it's one of the last things, that and mixing, right? Drums is probably one of the easiest things to learn off the bat right away.
Okay. All right.
So I would say that'd be the first thing you should go towards is
bundles and beat packages. Is there anything you got coming up soon that people can get excited about or?
So yeah, I don't have anything coming out right now, but what I am doing is I'm announcing my partnership with Twitch. So I just like signed a Twitch partnership deal with them, and I'm going to be announcing that tomorrow on the 1st. So this will probably be out already by that point. So that's something huge. If you want to follow me on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/LarryO. And I'm going to start streaming. It's something that I've been wanting to do for years now. And it's just, I haven't felt like it was the right time, but for some reason right now, I don't know. I'm settled into a new house. I have some more time on my hands. I just feel like it's the right time to start streaming.
If I was to ask myself, what do I know about Larry O? Some new things I learned about Larry O. His favorite producer of all time is Timbaland. The last song he played in his car is the new Kid Cudi joint, which I got to go check out. You remember the name? I already forgot it.
Do What I Want.
Do What I Want. All right. And You Get Me came from a British accent, which is very interesting because I love this British show that I watch right now, and they say it all the time, and it didn't even dawn on me. That's just like, man, I just want to thank you again for doing this. I really like to, ask people different kinds of questions so that we can get to know you a little bit more. And in the future, we can do this again. That's why I like to keep it short and keep it fun. So I just want to thank you again, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, of course, man. And thank you for having me, bro. I love what you're doing. I always have. I've always, try to give you my 2 cents here and there.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing, man. Congrats on everything. And thank you for having me on.
Thank you, man. This has been What Do I Know with your boy Zuzu. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the show for you if you love music. Then again,
you
supposed to give me what do I? That's good.